Joe from VCAM TV Studios, and as you can tell, I am up here in the North Pole. There is a lot of commotion going on because tonight Santa is going to add a new reindeer to guide his sleigh. I was so excited that I came up here as soon as possible to break down the 15 prospects. In fact, I got up here so fast that I didn't even pack a jacket. Tonight, through our film study, we're going to find out just who is the top buck. And I'm not talking Nick and Matt Jackson. Just who will Papa Noel choose to give that top dough to the top dough. And we'll even find out, to be a top reindeer, do you even have to be a reindeer? Tonight, those questions and more will be answered. First on our board is The Littlest Reindeer, based on a book by Michael Forman, who is not Red's other son. And there are definite character concerns with this reindeer, from momentary lapses of judgment to just wandering off from his father. To be part of Santa's reindeer team, you have to have high character, so you can't just steal somebody's food. He also is a bit clumsy, getting himself wrapped up in Christmas wrapping paper. But the littlest reindeer is highly motivated. From a very early age, he wanted to fly. The littlest reindeer is also a strong teammate, forming a lifelong bond with this kid who looks like Miles Morales.
It's a date.
I can tell you firsthand that no other reindeer on this list will let you carry them like they were a bride on their honeymoon. The littlest reindeer, unlike some of the other reindeer you'll see later on, is a natural flyer. With the littlest reindeer, Santa isn't going to have to worry about finding fairy dust or magic cookies, but he may have to worry about this reindeer exposing himself to the general public. You can't just go out flying and expect people not to notice. So you ask yourself, can the littlest reindeer go through the grind of every Christmas season, or is he just a spot starter? Through all kinds of Christmas media, you come to learn that Santa is a strict taskmaster, and I think the littlest reindeer will be okay with that. He works his elves day and night, and that's probably so that these kids can get their very own Game Boy. After studying the tape, I can't tell you I'm that hyped up about the littlest reindeer. He's so unimportant, he doesn't even have a Christmas-sounding name. He's a mid-round starter at best. Next up, I'm counting them as a whole, but it's the Elf's Pets Santa's Reindeer Rescue. Horrible title for a name, guys. And this is an actual movie from the people that put out The Elf on the Shelf. And if these movies teach you one thing, it's that Santa Claus is a horrible person to work for. He's either super oblivious to what's going on, or he's downright cruel. But no matter which version you get, Santa will always treat his elves like they work at a North Pole Walmart. Not one of these elves is getting PTO, if you know what I'm saying.
We work all day, we work all night, no time for a drink, no time.
How are we doing, Coach Jim Dandy?
Did they name this elf on the shelf after an alcoholic concoction? And I don't like the fact that Santa spies on us like Mark Zuckerberg. So is Santa all bad? No! You know what Santa did? Santa saved these reindeer from Hitler!
And then there came the war in November 39. She had to leave the reindeer and the war behind.
Way to go from 0 to 100, Elf on a Shelf movie!
She did all that she could, but their numbers dwindled quick. She wrote to young Pookie, you know him as Saint Nick.
So without his starter reindeer, they have to test out these reindeer to see if they can handle the job. And when you're picking out reindeer, you want a clean prospect. That's why we're going to test them for performance enhancement drugs. And maybe they'll check in on this reindeer's character, see if his other reindeer friends invited him to a birthday party, because that's how scouting for the draft goes. According to this movie.
Oh, did your teammates come to your birthday party?
These reindeers really aren't up to snuff. We're gonna have to inject them with hormones. Yeah, that's kind of like Drago's trainers did to him. That room probably reeked of deer antler spray.
It's just foolish. It's very foolish, and the guy has no credibility.
And why would these reindeer even want to lead this team? The previous starters? They could be dead!
Whoa! Whoa! Steady! Steady! Look out!
Do you see anything on screen that could have caused this crash? No! Santa's got wide open lanes here! Here! Going straight forward!
Is everyone okay?
It's quite regrettable.
And the North Pole is like, well, time to get new recruits. The original team has songs about them, and yet, hey, if you can't do the job, next one up. So the secret to flying is that love is all around. Love makes them fly. And if they don't go around collecting love, flying will be impossible.
It's the one element that we can't seem to collect enough of.
That's it. That's it.
Thank God this is a G-rated movie, because I don't want to see how the elves go around collecting love. The elves come up with a solution. If they leave the reindeer behind as a toy, that magic will make them come alive on Christmas morning.
It's a reindeer! Let me see. There's one for each of us. They're so tiny.
And then once they become real, they'll have enough power to help out Santa Claus and the OG crew. So even when they're made starters, they're still the backups. This will also be another one of those films where you can't mention the existence of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
On s'nores, on holly, on peanut butter, gold click-clack and pinwheel and glittery pumpkin.
This film was like watching a USFL football game. They're stars right up until the real reindeer show back up. And then it's back to the barn for you guys. Our next prospect is gonna take you back to the 80s. And nothing says 80s cartoon like... We got some Christmas Reindeer Tales, created by Sabon? Oh, if this is by the Power Rangers guy, this is gonna be a reindeer team recruited with attitude.
Recruit a team of teenagers with attitudes.
I think it's just a bunch of baloney, don't you? It isn't nice for you to interrupt.
Not so much. I was about halfway into the special before I even got to the Christmas Reindeer part of the Christmas Reindeer Tales. Shout out to the anime-looking Santa here. Santa is being visited by his granddaughter, and the granddaughter is worried about the existence of a snow monster.
If I saw the snow monster and I was his puppet, I'd walk right up and say, "Now go away, you guys." If that didn't work, I'd scream.
Santa's like, yes, snow monsters aren't real.
Well, I'm glad you're not worried about snow monsters, because the only ones I know of are the ones in fairy tales.
Santa and reindeer, yes, those are real. But snow monster, don't be ridiculous. In another cabin, I think these are elves, but they also might be gnomes. Well, they're worried that this snow monster is out there. And then this old gnome or elf woman, she's like, yeah, that's a horrible thing. All right, guys, get outside. I'm done with you.
Snow monsters? Why, you better believe there are snow monsters, and I want your children to understand that just because you haven't seen them doesn't mean they don't exist.
Go outside in these horrible snowy conditions and possibly get eaten by a snow monster. I don't care. I really don't. I don't even like you guys. So, yeah, they are elves, not gnomes. And they do run across the snow monster. And I'm kind of thinking, well, maybe the reindeers can run these guys off. And if they're not real, why is there a whole family of them? And they're in pretty close proximity to Santa's place, so why does Santa dismiss the idea of a snow monster? That'd be like me denying the existence of a raccoon. I just think this Kris Kringle is over the job of being Santa. Maybe he wants to find his replacement.
It's just that each year it takes more time to plan my deliveries. Not that the world gets any larger, of course. It's only that there are more children born every year.
And if he starts advocating for population control, I'll just stop the special right here. These elves run across some deer that they have to rescue. But these aren't reindeer, they're basic-ass deer. It takes about 18 minutes into this thing to finally get the reindeer in our Reindeer Tale.
It's Uncle Joseph! Uncle Joseph, it's a snow monster! He's trapped and we don't know what to do!
These elves are completely helpless. When they get attacked by actual snow monsters, our reindeer have to bail them out.
Prancer will make sure.
The elves are as useless as the penguins in the Super Mario movie. Wow, did the Mario movie steal that joke? He's firing away! Direct hit! And wait a minute, who made the old Mario cartoon?
Dyke.
Ah, stealing from Dyke. Dyke on Dyke. Walk away all embarrassed. Explain that one to your kid. Lick your wounds or retreat. Or in this case, rub your sore ass and retreat. So Dasher heads off with an Uncle Joe. And the reason the North Pole is looking for a new recruit is because Blitzen is being put out to stud.
We're planning to add a couple more reindeer to the sleigh this year. That should do it.
Well, good for you, Blitzen. Good for you. Before that torch can be passed, the reindeers have to go in all-out war with the snow monsters. Think of it like that scene in the last Twilight movie. All heck just completely breaks loose, and Uncle Joe is left for dead. It's a human fumble! They're eventually saved by Prancer, who keeps them alive long enough so that Santa and his tracking wolf... Yes, Santa has a tracking wolf. I don't think anybody's made a Christmas ornament of that.
But somehow they knew that Wolfie had to lead them home, because millions of children were depending on them to pull Santa's sleigh this Christmas.
These other reindeer are going to have to continue taking a back seat. Santa's going to stick with the OG crew, who, even without Rudolph, seemed equipped enough to handle flying in a snowstorm. And why are these reindeer so depressed? They don't appear to be too psyched to do the job again. Like they're thinking,
"Hello, darkness, my old friend."
Our next prospect proves that you don't have to be a reindeer to want to be part of Santa's team. You could be a cow. Annabelle the cow from Annabelle's Wish. An animated special about a mute boy who makes friends with a cow who was born on Christmas Eve. Before I reviewed this prospect tape, I had never heard of this animated special. And that's a shame because it has things I enjoy, like Jerry Van Dyke, a golden girl.
You would see the biggest gift would be from me.
Jim Varney. Billy is a mute little boy who lives with his grandfather. And the grandfather is a horny old man who doesn't believe in any kind of child safety. Why else is the grandfather speeding down an unplowed road while the kid is in the back of the truck, completely unbuckled, just sitting on a stack of hay?
What's the matter, Billy? Ain't you gonna sing?
Shame on you, Ernest. Your kids are awful.
My boys ain't going nowhere.
Well, evening, Gus. Merry Christmas.
You know we don't go in for that around here.
They're picking on the mute kid? You raised some little bullies. Thankfully, Billy's got a friend like Emily. Billy's got a sad backstory. His parents died, and then Grandpa almost lost Billy in a barn fire. Grandpa could have lost his livestock too, since he didn't care enough to try to save them. Nice job, Grandpa. Everybody was going to meet a fiery death because of you. This is when Billy's aunt enters the picture, and she comes in trying to gain custody of Billy. She's almost like the OG Chicago party aunt.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la.
And well, we know that she's supposed to be the villain of this story. Are we really that sympathetic to Grandpa? He's clearly over his head. Maybe the aunt would do a better job. She's clearly willing to invest resources to fix Billy's issue.
You agree that I can give him the best that money can buy.
In this universe, Santa also grants the Christmas wishes of animals.
Merry Christmas.
I'm not gonna dog Annabelle. She's all heart, and also Lil from Rugrats.
How come these cows have these things on their heads? Nah, can't be.
Annabelle will put in the work. She's watched how the reindeers fly, and she wants to fly too. Like R. Kelly once sang about, she believes she can fly, even if the other animals don't believe. Annabelle and Billy have a very sweet connection, even if this song kind of makes it sound like, it's like a cow-human relationship.
You got me and I've got you, and that's the sweetest thing we found.
See? They're even sleeping together. Hey, don't boo me. That was a solid joke. There are some character concerns when it comes to Annabelle the cow. She will get violent when the situation calls for it. Like a good offensive lineman, if you touch her people, she will knock you out. The aunt and grandpa realize they both want to do what's best for Billy. Annabelle also wants to do what's best for Billy. So when Santa grants Annabelle a wish, Annabelle's wish is for Billy to talk again. That is some high character stuff, making Annabelle a real valuable teammate.
I love my grandpa.
What did you say?
Emily and Billy get older and eventually marry.
Honestly, Billy, you act as if those animals can talk to you.
I wish you could tell her, old gal. If I could see Santa, you know what I'd wish.
And Annabelle just becomes Billy's old trusted cow. On Christmas Eve, an elderly Annabelle the cow goes outside, wanting to pretend to be a reindeer one last time. That's when Santa arrives. Adult Billy, not completely freaked out that Santa Claus is real, wishes for Annabelle to finally become a reindeer.
Are you ready to fly, Annabelle?
Oh, yes.
Then lead the way. Yeah!
Look, Billy, I'm flying.
What? I'm not crying. You're crying.
Merry Christmas, Annabelle. Merry Christmas.
Our next prospect is finally going to break that glass ceiling that Santa Claus has. Unless you count all these specials where Vixen is a girl and Donner is a girl. Donner, Donna. The writers are like, close enough. Female representation. Let me introduce you to Christy, Santa's first female reindeer. This film was created by the Wildlife Unlimited Foundation, Inc. And if this quality is anything to go by, I have no idea what I'm about to review. This movie begins with a Santa Claus who's in a state of disarray.
Now we get you unhooked and we get you out into the hot spring meadow there. You can get a good feed and get a good, well-earned rest.
This Santa is easily agitated. I don't think he knows his lines or even where he is.
All the kids now, they all seem to think that they can have everything they want, and they want different types of toys than we give them, and they're so greedy, Santa. I'm just a loss.
We do the best we can.
Can't help them, Santa.
We do the best we can. They should be happy.
You remember this scene from Home Improvement where Al and Tim are pretending to fly from the North Pole? Well, even those cheap effects are better than what we have going here. This Santa Claus is fading in and out of existence.
It seems she's just not happy with the way this world has gone. It's for the good old days of yore her little heart does long.
Ho ho ho, I say beat her until her morale improves. Santa takes a little journey to go see Christy, our new reindeer.
Let's name this little one Christy.
With the population growing the way it is, I can hardly make my rounds before it gets light the way it is.
It wasn't always too big.
Santa?
It was a lot smaller because you didn't have to carry the big loads that you have today.
What odd thoughts are you having right now?
Santa is coming.
The sleigh, I mean.
I just want to point out how amazing some of Santa Claus's dialogue is in this movie.
I would need a strong reindeer, but small enough to, it just don't have a reindeer like that.
Christy is ready for the job. She doesn't need any magic. All she needs is a little determination.
Of Lily Bell and Christy and a shiny little sled.
She's a little pampered. You ever see the story of Todd Marinovich and how his dad programmed him to be the perfect quarterback ever since he was a little kid? Yeah, I get the same vibes coming out of this prospect.
You need Crystal. I'll bet you could teach her this summer how to fly.
Well, I've never had a feed rail reindeer pull any of my sleighs.
Santa got her own sleigh.
This will be perfect.
Even something for Christy.
Santa stops by to see her monthly progress. He jogs with her. He trains her. You can't say that Santa isn't personally invested that Christy succeeds, going around bragging to people like Jack Frost about how great Christy is.
I hope you got your little angel already.
Oh, she's ready. She's ready. She's really ready and willing to go.
Can these two stop hitting their mic?
Good. Here's a glass of water for all the work you've done.
Gee, Jack, you never cease to amaze me.
And it looks like Mrs. Claus hasn't moved since last Christmas. Look at the poise of Mrs. Claus. That's what we want in Christy. You rush her, and she still won't be bothered to move any faster. More characters begin to show up, like Tanglefoot, who is a clumsy Yeti.
Tanglefoot. No, we don't need any help, Tanglefoot, please.
And why do all Santa's elves sound like Cyndi Lauper?
How did he get in here? Oh, Tanglefoot! Tanglefoot, watch out! No, Tanglefoot, we don't need any more.
Damn thing,
You have to be in it.
Listen.
You wanted to be in it.
Tanglefoot! Oh no! Oh, Tanglefoot!
That's why
Gotcha!
And I would feel bad about how everybody's treating Tanglefoot, but who the hell is Tanglefoot?
Oh, Tanglefoot! Tanglefoot, no!
And despite being the draft expert I am, I had to figure out, who is this guy?
Tanglefoot, just go! Oh, Tanglefoot! Oh!
So I was thinking, is Tanglefoot some sort of D-list celebrity Christmas character?
No, no, Tanglefoot! Do it ourselves!
All I could find was Tanglefoot being the name of Mickey Mouse's horse. But apparently Tanglefoot is famous enough to have a song about him.
Remember, behind every cloud there's a bright and shining sun. Although the world might laugh at you, some of them might scold, they'll learn within old Tanglefoot there's a heart of solid gold.
And this song warns you, you shouldn't be a bully. Yeah, don't bully anybody. If you got a problem with a monster, just rip out its teeth instead. That worked for Hermie. Santa warns Tanglefoot to not move the sleigh. Tanglefoot, well, he naturally hears, move the sleigh. You know, I kinda wish this film was about, I don't know, a female reindeer who could actually move the sleigh? Did this film suddenly become Tanglefoot, the first female reindeer? So how good can Christy be as a reindeer if she's so boring, she's already being benched for a Yeti? I'm gonna cut her a little slack though. This Santa Claus is a horrible coach. He's more of a confused sitcom dad than a Mr. Miyagi.
I can see you're getting anxious too, Christy. Boy, it's a long ways up there, isn't it? It's going to be a new experience for you too.
Christy is a stubborn reindeer, and she's been known to butt heads with her trainers and coaches.
Oh, I know before this day is over, you're going to think that I'm the meanest old man that ever was. You know, we've got a big job ahead of us. Now hold still, so I can get this on you. Now we got to teach you how to fly. But the first thing you got to do is learn how to jump. Come on. Come on. That's it. That's a good one.
And after all that prep, she can fly. She can lead the team.
I can't even fly.
And I mean the whole team. No wonder she's struggling with her footing. Did the other reindeers go on strike as soon as they had to have a female member of the team? Or did Santa just forget to meet up with that team before takeoff? This Santa is kind of absent-minded. I could see either happening. He can just wander off and feed other animals Fruit Loops.
Santa's hanging Fruit Loops on a woodland Christmas tree.
Little birdie, I'm making Fruit Loops my brand.
Garlands made of Fruit Loops for his forest family.
While Santa is out on the woodland adventure with Christy, he also starts attracting some predators his way. There's a coyote, and it's gonna rip open Santa's sack.
He's up to something.
And I don't mean the one with toys in it.
I knew it. He's got my bag now. He figures that he can keep it. Uh-oh. Looks like Christy's getting a little uneasy about that guy being under the sleigh.
Christy will still make rookie mistakes. It wasn't the smoothest landing.
That was kind of a rough landing, girl, but you'll learn.
I guess Santa's gonna have to put her down. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Christy had a lot of poise, and she was even able to put up with music that sounds like Grandma got run over by a reindeer with half the budget.
He thinks it must be Santa, but what is this I see? He's hanging apples, oranges, nuts, and figs upon this tree.
Santa hangs his what from a tree?
Oranges, nuts, nuts.
Well, it's been a wonderful Christmas, Christy. Job well done. Everybody seems to be very happy.
Our next prospect is Elliot the Littlest Reindeer. And boy, do I love a good Christmas village. Even if in this Christmas village, something dark definitely happened the year before.
Especially after what happened last year, am I right? Never underestimate the power of a well-positioned puff piece to make the public forget.
Are they trying to cover up the fact that Santa was accused of running over somebody's grandma?
They should never give a license to a man who drives a sleigh and plays with elves.
I don't know. Maybe Grandpa was right, and he didn't just kill his wife. And this is another version of the power-tripping Santa. He's down to only 7 reindeer.
4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no.
Oh my god, did he kill one? No, just another case of we can't talk about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Did old Rudy pull off the, if you play me, you gotta pay me? So that's why this place needs its own reindeer academy. You run drills, and you tape study with John Gruden. We meet Elliot, and he dreams of joining that reindeer team. But there's a big problem. He's not actually a reindeer. He's a miniature pony, like little Sebastian. When Elliot feels some self-doubt, he's got a best friend, a goat, who pushes him to just keep trying. You can't be a goat if you don't listen to the goat. On the North Pole, reindeers get treated like star athletes, unlike in the real world, where reindeer just get treated like food. Which may happen to a bunch of the animals in this barn if the owner decides to sell.
Hello.
Elliot and his friends are at the Witty Bitty Farm. I wonder if the Witty Bitty Farm has a connection to the Itty Bitty Titty Committee. There's a woman going around looking to buy this place, and she talks like a female Tommy Wiseau.
I come today.
Merry Christmas, or whatever you believe, okay?
Elliot has a plan. He's going to be a part of those reindeer games. He's just lacking in proper reindeer skill. The farm actually has its own reindeer, DJ.
DJ is fabulous.
And DJ is from the bloodline.
Oh, hey, Dad.
And this can't be a kid's film without sneaking in at least one poop joke, which they do 21 minutes in. 21 minutes in, that's still some restraint. In a hilarious setup, the miniature pony and the goat end up at the reindeer games.
You want to enter a pony in the North Pole Triad?
I am a miniature.
And they're able to trick the committee into letting Elliot compete. You know when you sing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and they talk about not letting Rudolph participate in any of the reindeer games? The reindeer games are like the Olympics. Elliot makes it into this competition as a wild card entry. The other reindeer are so full of themselves that Elliot is just considered an afterthought. You know who also considers this an afterthought? Santa Claus. He doesn't even show up for the games. You kind of wonder why Santa doesn't even care about all the turnover on his team. The spot that they're competing for is Blitzen's. Is this another special where Blitzen is being put out to stud?
I can confirm the rumor. Blitzen announced his retirement late last night, effective immediately.
Blitzen wasn't even the first deer to have left Santa's team. Vixen wanted a suburban mom life. Comet became a hippie, and Cupid fell in love and moved to Moscow during the Cold War. And Prancer needed some me time.
When Prancer decided he needed some me time. I mean, have you ever heard such self-absorbed baloney in all your life?
And during his me time, was that when he consummated with Nico's mom? And this event looked like the kind of shovelware game that you'd play on the Nintendo Wii. It's a test of speed, and Elliot is able to keep up. He could go all the way. Look at him go through that loop-de-loop. And Elliot taking shot after shot while he's in the trenches. And just like that, half of the competition gets eliminated. DJ wins the event, but Elliot manages to snag the final spot. DJ is our talent. Elliot is the heart. While all this is going on, the woman who earlier in this film was seen flirting with DJ and Elliot's owner, she stumbles into a room that's filled with electronic sleighs. The whole reindeer games is kind of a sham. Reindeers are actually secretly getting phased out. When going through all these movies, there seems to be a trope of the elf who is secretly evil. But Santa treats them so nice.
What
are you doing back here?
Our elf wants to switch over to electronic sleigh. In this film, the elf has a point. Why not use an electronic sleigh? Reindeers can be jerks, and they're definitely high maintenance.
I love the reindeers. They're so much fun.
So this is what, a backup system?
Sure. Like DJ here. He's got attitude issues.
DJ's going to big leagues. DJ's going to big leagues. DJ's going to big leagues. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
He's too wimpy to fly in the cold.
DJ's got the sniffles. And it's freezing out there.
And he feels so much pressure from his dad that he's going to abuse some PEDs.
I've heard an extra cookie or two never hurt either.
Huh?
Which are Mrs. Claus's magic cookies.
DJ?
Elliot is invited to a North Pole rave, and that turns into some sort of team-building exercise. If nobody's ever gotten Santa's hat off the pole, then maybe this is a contest. And if it's a contest and nobody still is able to get Santa's hat, aren't they all losers? Which makes me think that Elliot has to score pretty high in the Reindeer Wonderlic test.
You're looking awfully familiar all of a sudden.
Oh, is that my coach calling me? I should go.
Phew! Almost blew his cover. Our next event has them flying through some rings, like they were in Superman 64. For the third event, the reindeers are given magic cookies, which is what gives them the ability to fly. The reindeers here will be scored on speed, technique, and skill. Some of the reindeers choke under that kind of pressure. You don't cleanly pass through a ring? That's gonna cost you. And second place Sasha is actually now in first place. Right up until DJ gets straight nines, and now second place Sasha is back down to second place.
And how bizarre, he could go OMC!
Elliot is moving and grooving through the rings. All the drills that he ran back at the farm, well, they pay off. He makes sharp cuts, he bounces off the clouds, and avoids the mistakes that he had when he ran the drills at home. Elliot absolutely crushes this event. In this event, Elliot messes up his antlers and is immediately recognized by DJ.
The jig is up, Goat! You two fraudsters have been caught!
And the Goat is like, hey, Elliot may not be a reindeer, but you're not exactly honest either.
You're a cheater.
Did you just call me?
You heard me. You're a cheater.
Hey, fine. DJ may have eaten an extra cookie or two.
Santa is having none of this, so the reindeer games are canceled.
I love all of my reindeer, but I can no longer allow personal attachments to blind me to the reality of what they've become. Therefore, it is with heavy heart that I have decided to end my association with reindeer forever.
There's now a mob forming, and they're neither pro-DJ or pro-Elliot. They want them both tossed. Hazel the Goat saves Elliot from the mob. Elliot is like, yeah, you know, I made friends with some of those reindeer, so I have to make this right. The baseball coach who owned the farm is freaked out that his team had 2 cheaters on it. Only 2. Well, then this guy hasn't coached the Astros. The reporter, who is also the love interest, is like, hey, don't give up. But not only is Coach giving up, he's gonna sell that farm as soon as he gets home. He's even getting rid of the reindeers who weren't even a part of the original deal. It's a fire sale. In this case, failure means death. Very Belichickian.
Yourself. Oh, merit. Little Christmas. Let your heart be light.
DJ, Clyde, and Elliot must now team up so that they can save their home and their life. Hazel the Goat and the reporter work together to crack open the elf conspiracy.
Ordered me. Lemon drop? No way. He's never been anything but 100% supportive.
Lemon Drop was the one who handed out the extra cookies and tricking the original reindeers into early retirement. He played to their desires. Did they want a family? To find love? To find themselves?
Passport, rubles, and a one-way ticket to Moscow. Go get her, Tiger!
And he may have possibly killed Prancer. I don't know.
Oh, wait till I show them the Prancer footage.
Please don't.
Lemon Drop is fired. He says, hey, Santa, population keeps growing. How are you going to make all these deliveries? We needed to switch over to electronic sleighs. I'm not the bad guy. So this is another thing with reindeer that also brings up population control.
When did bringing joy to the children of the world become a problem?
When their population reached almost 1 billion.
Oh, and Lemon Drop also made a death machine. And he can't turn it off. They put a death machine on the North Pole. Love is in the air as Santa and the elf do battle. Lemon Drop loses command of his ship, and DJ redeems himself by saving Hazel the goat. Elliot has the bigger task. Can he shut this machine off? He does, but him and Hazel die in the process.
Blitzen?
I'm just kidding. This is a Christmas movie. They lived.
Elliot!
You saved us!
Everything's fine. Their owner isn't even going to sell the farm anymore. What a gem that guy is. And the new couple even races back home to stop the farm from being sold to the Tommy Wiseau-looking woman.
Can you believe she's wanted in 3 states?
Her? She looks so innocent. So earlier we talked about Christy, the first female reindeer. Well, actually in this competition, there was a Sasha. And she's considered the winner of the reindeer games.
Besides, Sasha would have beaten me anyways.
Elliot is given an open invitation to fly, and because he cheated, DJ is given a 1-year ban. But because he did come clean and help save the day, is invited to come back and try out next year. I hope his dad Donner isn't too disappointed in him. If you're looking for a reindeer prospect coming out of this movie, you're not going to go with Elliot. He has no natural talent. He's got a very, very low ceiling. He'd probably make a better coach. He's got a lot of heart, but you're only picking him up for depth. Now, when it comes to DJ, you're gonna get character issues, real lack of maturity, but he does have the raw talent. During this film, he was winning the events. Now, because of his immaturity, he's like a 2nd to 4th round value, but he could be like one of those prospects where they go back for their senior year. If he matured, I could see him being a very, very high 1st round talent. You also have Sasha. Now, Sasha actually won the reindeer games, but she didn't win the individual events. That was something DJ did. So do you go with the raw talent of DJ, or the winner, who was Sasha? Our next special is Olive, the Other Reindeer. This is another film where our reindeer isn't even a reindeer. This time, it's a dog named Olive, voiced by Drew Barrymore. The reason Olive wants to be part of Santa's team is because the dog thinks that they were mentioned in the song.
Maybe somehow we'll make do with Olive the Other Reindeer.
So she's Olive, the Other Reindeer.
Santa needs you to be the replacement reindeer.
That's crazy.
Yes, this whole special is based on a dad joke. The man responsible for this special, Matt Groening of The Simpsons. So you have him to thank for making this dad joke into a full special. It was written by Steve Young. Not the quarterback. Not the quarterback.
It was the holidays. Olive, the Other Reindeer. Olive sang along.
Olive is a dog who lives alongside other talking animals. In this world, even rats celebrate Christmas. And this was almost the shortest animated special that I had to review, if Olive had gotten run over in the scene.
Genuine Rolex, $10.
I didn't know Rolex had 3 X's.
Typographical error, factory seconds.
This penguin's hustle is to sell fake watches, which is better than the other job that they imply he had.
Smuggling in junk food, dirty magazines, files hidden inside cakes.
Was this penguin selling porn? This is a town that also has humans in it, and I think humans and animals are able to communicate with each other, or maybe it's like that Garfield and John Arbuckle thing, where it seems like they're communicating, but it's really just Garfield's inner monologue, and John just happens to talk to the cat.
Ever since he was tiny, Tim has loved Christmas.
Was that foreshadowing? Maybe? You can tell that Matt Groening and some of the Simpsons team worked on this, since they take a shot at Fox.
Tonight on Fox, the world's wildest mistletoe accidents.
The people who aired this special. And it's another film where the reindeer, in this case Blitzen, is out of action, and Santa has to cancel Christmas.
Blitzen the reindeer was injured earlier today during a practice flight and won't recover in time.
Does Santa ever learn his lesson? Why does he have no backup reindeer? Why, if one of these guys goes down, Christmas is canceled? The news of Christmas being canceled is everywhere. This flea hears the phrase, all of the other reindeer, and thinks it's about Olive, the other reindeer. This flea is trouble. He purposely makes it so that Tim and Olive don't squash their beef. This flea is a sociopath, but, I mean, what do you expect? This flea is voiced by Janos.
If everything you're doing is bad, I want you to know this.
So Olive takes off to the zoo. She's kind of a klutz and accidentally trips the mail carrier. But he's not even mad. He's just thrilled that Christmas is canceled.
The shoulder strap tears at my flesh. I'm a zombie by Thanksgiving. With 4 weeks torture still to come, this is no way to make a living.
He hates having to carry around letters to Santa, the catalogs, and all these heavy items.
Christmas, bah, bug and hum.
And this special was made before Amazon became the biggest thing in the world, and everybody had to deliver all these packages every single day. So if he thinks he has it rough now... And wait a minute, is the mail carrier just the robot devil from Futurama?
I shall give you your army of the damned. And in return, I ask just one thing. Your firstborn son. You're not a reindeer. You can't fly.
Was this what he was up to when he was alive? Olive is all about that reindeer life. Olive is like, hey, I'm gonna be the next reindeer. The mail carrier is very skeptical, and I don't really know why. I just watched a special where a cow did it, and a miniature horse did it, so a dog isn't that far off. Olive and her friend book a ticket to the North Pole, but before they can get on board, Olive gets dog-napped. The penguin then saves her butt from this creepy mailman. He even tries to run Olive off the road, which is odd because if this mailman has no faith in Olive's ability to become a reindeer, why is he so threatened? Olive and her penguin friend think that they've lost the mailman as they pull into a diner. But the waitress at that diner? The mailman! All hope is lost. Olive has failed. Wait, what's in this package? From Deus Ex Machina? Oh, I see what you did there, film. Olive is able to escape. They make it into a dive bar, filled with elves, reindeer, and I think even the Easter Bunny. The reindeers don't take too kindly to outsiders. And this isn't even the first of these reindeer specials that has a scene like this.
Let's take her up to the roof and see how she flies.
If you're a reindeer, we could throw you off the roof and you'll be able to fly. Which is like some old Salem witch trial type stuff. Where's your Christmas spirit?
We're not so bad. We're not so bad. We're really sweet and funny. We're not so bad. Except for that bunny.
Ah, you're right, little dog. So Blitzen's cousins Schnitzel and the gang help the duo get a ride to the North Pole. Olive isn't on the allowed list. The penguin distracts security, while Olive is able to dig her way underneath the fence. The mailman is also able to sneak in, because he's got letters for Santa.
Dear Santa, I hate you. Don't come to my house, Johnny.
Wow, does Santa have some harsh fans?
Dear Santa, lose some weight and get a real job.
And they had to do it through snail mail. Imagine if Kris Kringle had to be on Twitter. Olive is like, no, you don't have that many haters, Santa. This is just the mail carrier writing under different names. Olive is like, hey, Santa, can I just fly with the team? Please? Lovett's penguin goes over and speaks with the reporter, who also sounds very familiar. More of our Matt Groening ties.
Who's she? What's going on?
And Rudolph? He's not even a thing. They call him an urban legend.
Where's Rudolph?
There's no Rudolph, it's just one of those urban legends.
Our evil mailman has somehow managed to steal all the toys, kidnap the penguin.
Somehow we got the wrong sack. This is all junk mail.
And Santa has been in the game way too long. This guy's not going to be able to escape. And the mailman really didn't think his plan through. When he gets back to the office, they're going to be like, hey, why did you take an unscheduled trip to the North Pole? What's with all the damage to the vehicle? What's with all the added miles? The only thing this guy didn't do was pull a Newman and also load his vehicle with empty bottles. Olive has saved Christmas, and now Quasimodo is going to get a back scratcher, and the Pope is going to get a Phillies hat, and Olive gets to go back to Tim. Don't get me wrong, Olive has a ton of heart, but the cardio is just not there. You can see she's already winded by house number 1, which makes you ask the question, could she handle an entire night of this? I don't think so.
You saved Christmas.
No, I only convinced everyone else to do their best.
Our next reindeer prospect is Moose, who's a reindeer. I know, after the last few, you're kind of like, is he a moose? No. He's from the Glow Friends Save Christmas. And he's voiced by Lorenzo Music. That's right. He's got Garfield and Venkman's voice.
You're not gonna hurt Santa, are you, Blanche?
Look, Moose, what did Santa tell you when you wanted to be one of his reindeer?
He said I had a navigational improficiency.
And I know what you youngins are thinking. What's a glow friend? Hit the commercial.
Play our song, musical glowworm.
I sing you lullabies, I make your days bright.
I bring you sweet dreams, I help you sleep tight. We're all your good night friends. Well, Butterfly's here for the pajama party. She's so happy she's glowing.
Bedtime.
Musical glowworm will play a tune for us to go to sleep to. Night, 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 night. Sleep tight.
Musical glowworm, glowbug, and glow butterfly, each sold separately from Hasbro Preschool.
Nothing says Christmas like getting some of your voice cast from All in the Family. Also 3 of the voice actors from the original run of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The North Pole seems like fun with all the frolicking, but as I've learned through all these specials, not if your boss is Santa.
Relax, my little friends. There's plenty of time.
Maybe for you, but for us it's rush, rush, rush. Always last minute.
Santa's the reason for all these delays? Doesn't matter. Do your job. Fix it. When you treat people like that, no wonder elves become enemies. Santa just goes around upsetting everybody. Like this witch, who is another person he's rejected. So now she's gonna get revenge. And this is where we meet Moose, her sidekick.
Why? What have you done? I mean, Santa brings joy to the whole world every year. Without Santa, there wouldn't even be a Christmas.
And I know he's a reindeer, not a moose, because he can actually fly. I think Blanche the Witch has a lot of swagger in her evilness. Her songs are catchy.
I'll take each twinkling Christmas tree and crush it underfoot. Say goodbye to Christmas. It soon will be kapok.
And she's got herself a unique style. You can't have one of these specials without Santa just going and crashing his sleigh, which allows our witch to trap him in an icy jail. The glowworms are useless, they get zapped away. The flying glowworm is absolutely useless. And Santa Claus is too chungus to get out of the cage. And Moose, when he tries to do the right thing, doesn't matter, he's useless.
Like this.
Moose is easily bullied when you put a little bit of pressure on him, so he's probably not the right reindeer to protect Santa Claus. So it's up to the glowworms, who not only have to save Santa, but now Moose. And after they save Moose, Moose repays the favor by, you know, getting the glowworms almost killed. I'm not that upset. The glowworms sing way too much for my liking.
Dear glow friends, let's go friends. Tonight is Christmas Eve. Glow, everybody glow. The time to be brave is now.
Everyone in this film is incompetent. Blanche wants to stop Santa's escape, but then she just falls in the river while the glowworms melt the cage. Moose is finally useful, as he's the one who's going to give Santa a ride home.
Maybe I could help you, Can you lead us out of here, Moose? Lead? Just follow me. And can you light my way, glow friends?
Brighter than the moon, Santa!
Moose is truly the last option of all last options. Our next tale of the tape comes from Kids Classic Home Video, and they bring us Rockin' Reindeer Christmas. And I refuse to accept any of these reindeer and their Alvin Seville-like shirts. They look like they're 10 seconds away from telling me to be true to my school.
Up on the housetop, reindeer paws, out jumps good old Santa Claus.
In this continuity, Donner, Cupid, and Vixen are female reindeer. The leader on this team, the one wearing the letter D, is Dasher.
Okay, everybody, gather around. That was great! If we're gonna have enough energy to pull Santa's sleigh tomorrow night, we better hit the hay.
Our story begins with Blitzen about to sneak out, but not before he tells us all his thoughts, like he was some sort of reindeer Zack Morris.
Oh, sure, you've heard of me. Whenever anyone says, now Dasher, now Prancer, now Dancer, now Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donder, and Blitzen. And you think, oh yeah, Blitzen. But when was the last time you really thought about me? Come a little closer, I'll tell you.
Time out.
I have a plan.
And to be a full Zack Morris, you gotta be the type to plan secret underground parties.
Why not throw a little Christmas concert for Santa? You know, decorations, a tree, warm, cozy feelings, lots of happy people singing merry songs.
And Santa will be our belding.
Hey, what is going on here?
Blitzen's gonna turn this bleh-looking house into a festive party zone where everybody's just gonna bust a move.
'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la.
You know, I've seen a lot of Christmas parties on film, and this one's rather tame.
Hey, play that low-down funky music.
Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree, how beautiful thy branches.
This is funky music. Guess you gotta do whatever it takes to impress the bootleg Olivia Newton-John they hired. Wearing a festive Freddy Krueger sweater? Blitzen is compelled to teleport in and tell the little girl just how great her dance moves are.
It's a reindeer.
Where'd he come from?
And then gets surprised when she's able to recognize, aren't you Blitzen?
Is he one of Santa's? Of course he is. He's Blitzen.
She recognized me. Someone recognized me.
Why is he so surprised? Every little kid learns the song where they can name the reindeer. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger knows it.
You can't just Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen.
Oh, that's the real special part. If you sing, he'll come.
Way to make it awkward there, Blitzen.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the North Pole.
Well, you can't have a rockin' party without the authorities showing up to ruin the good time.
What's going on here, Blitzen?
Well, Santa, you always say that we work much better if we're happy and relaxed. So I figured a little Christmas concert might, well, make you feel good, help relieve the pressure.
What am I going to do with you, Blitzen?
Put me in front of the pack?
But you know what? Santa isn't a fuddy-duddy.
The elves and I have an awful lot of work to do before tomorrow night, so I'm afraid I'm only going to be able to stay for one song.
Oh, well, in that case, we'll have to make it your favorite.
Santa, being the known dictator, decides that this party is all about him, and you have to entertain him.
Jingle bell, jingle all the way.
And if you're looking for an entertainer, Jamie Foxx is right here.
This Christmas.
And I don't think this little girl even knows one of the dance moves they're trying to do. And is it just me, or is there anybody else creeped out about how intense this woman's eyes are? Santa's already bored by these kids. I guess it's time to get a new entertainer. Okay, why did you just get the Crash Bandicoot eyes looking at that snowman? Do I need to leave the room?
Why, Blitzen, whatever you doing out here?
Hey, good for Frosty. He got himself a Southern Belle girlfriend who can also become human, and she doesn't even have to wear a magic hat.
Do it in the Christmas spirit, please.
Calm down, boy. I'll help you out.
Yes, yes.
And she leads us into a hoedown throwdown.
We'll be laughing with the lizards, 'cause we're tickled to the gizzard at the good old country Christmas.
What a catchy song. Even Ernie Reyes over here loves it. They only paid Mrs. Snowflake for one song, so she's out of here. Santa's about to leave when Blitzen is like, hey, fat boy, have some more cookies.
Have 5. In fact, have the whole plate.
Well, maybe just one.
Well, come on, everybody. It's party time. Can't let Santa eat alone.
Sit down. Listen to this strange rendition of Rockin' Robin.
Rock, 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 rockin' reindeer and roll, roll, roll. Rockin' reindeer, bring that jingle, with a ho, ho, ho. Everybody, let your antlers wiggle in the wind. Giddy up and giggle with a friend. It's Christmas time again, so let's go.
And Santa's feeling it, and I can tell with all these close-ups. Though the pelvic thrusting was a bit much, St. Nick. Well, other reindeer specials I watch are about reindeers trying to crack the starting lineup. This one is about Blitzen trying to make a play for Dasher's job. Ah, you see, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. You just met him. Blitzen, feeling his plan go awry, goes deeper into a funk while he has to listen to this little girl sing. And she hits a pitch that would agitate any dog. Back at the party, Santa's still forcing the guests to entertain him. Also, he does not stop eating. Well, it's time for takeoff. Blitzen's bummed. He's stuck staring at Donner's behind. Would you look at that? People don't just get wishes from Santa. He even makes his own reindeer's wishes come true. Blitzen gets to lead the team. Well, actually, every reindeer gets to lead this year.
Now Dasher, now Prancer, now Dancer, now Vixen. On Comet, on Cupid, on Donner, on Blitzen.
Merry Christmas, Virginia.
What kind of participation trophy BS is that? Our next entry is The Flight Before Christmas, which is one of those CGI movies where there's a different voice cast based on whatever region the film was released in. And I picked the American release because, you get Norm MacDonald, so why wouldn't you choose this version?
I think I know which one my dad is.
Don't tell me. The one who flies the fastest, jumps the highest, and has the most courage.
Did you see him too?
I'd love to get, and I've never gotten this, and I think it's the perfect gift,
ahead.
Is a Christmas tree.
Why can't you just go out and buy a tree?
Exactly. But why can't somebody give me one? That's what I need at Christmas.
And the reindeer we're going to pay attention to in this movie is named Nico. And Nico worships Santa's flying forces, which is a cool name for the reindeer crew. And Nico believes his actual father is a member of the flying forces. So what you're saying is one of the iconic reindeer is a deadbeat dad. Cool. Cool.
That's when I met your dad, flying through the clouds, high above the valley. But then he had to leave.
Nico practices flying in his spare time with one of his female friends. Nico is watched over by Julius the squirrel, and the reindeers are trained to look out for wolves. The wolves operate the same way the hyenas do in The Lion King.
Huh? Reindeer eat moss, we eat reindeer. I'm simply cutting out the middleman.
I'm surrounded by idiots.
Please yourself.
And there's even a Scar-like character who calls the shots.
Go out there, find food, find reindeer.
They're the same picture.
Borrowing more things from The Lion King, the two kids leave tracks that attract the wolves.
Wolves!
Run, kids!
Leading to a battle between the wolves and the reindeer, allowing the two youngins to escape. Our reindeers are gonna circle around the kids and the most vulnerable. It allows them enough time to hold off any penetration we're gonna get from the wolves. It buys just enough time for the reindeer to escape, and our strongest members are gonna stay back and fight the threat. A bridge collapses, which almost kills one of the reindeers. The kids could have gotten everybody killed, and it's all because Nico is fascinated with being part of Santa's team. At this point, his mom's had enough. She's like, Nico, we're no longer gonna talk about your father or the flying forces. Nico is not hearing that, and he goes off to find his dad. And instead of going after her son, the mom's like, Julius, you're kind of like a father. Go after him. Unlike The Lion King, we actually do have humans in this film, and one of them lost a purple poodle who's now rolling with the wolf pack. And that wolf pack has just one mission. Find Santa and his reindeer and eat them.
Santa's reindeer? Don't you think he might just be a little bit upset?
True. That's why we're gonna eat Santa too!
Nico spots the flying forces, and no big storm is gonna stop him. That's when Nico meets our film's Timon-like character, a Lumiko named Wilma.
Miss Wilma?
If you were worried about Nico's takeoff speed, it's good enough to escape the wolves. Wilma saves Nico and Julius from being eaten by the wolves, but in doing so, she causes an avalanche. Look at these quick cuts as he's able to go down that mountain. And look at this young reindeer. He finds all the open holes, and he's able to evade potential disaster. And Nico doesn't have the ability of, say, Rambo, where he could just use a trash can as a snowboard to escape an avalanche. Reviewing the tape, Nico's just another reindeer that does not have the natural ability to fly. He just can't do it.
He could go all the way!
And whenever a disaster happens that would need him to fly, Nico fails. He's just lucky that there are people around him that bail him out. Julius is our real hero. Wolves killed his family. But here Julius is, staring down a pack of wolves.
That's it, Nico! Jump!
With so much ice and snow up in the North Pole, Nico's ability to balance himself will be considered a major plus. But if you're wondering why I don't have Nico over Sasha and DJ, it's because Nico has some poor decision making. And at times, it almost gets him killed. The fall he suffered while trying to fly is going to be a massive concern when he takes his physical with Santa's team doctors. That's definitely a concussion, and I don't even know if he injured anything. If he was to have gotten a hoof injury, that would severely limit his ability to guide that sleigh tonight.
Oh, he's alive! He's alive!
And this just feels like an Uncharted level, that after the wolves and Nico's crew get up these icy stairs, Nathan Drake will be next.
And that's the Flying Forces Airport. Dad! I'm gonna meet Dad!
You know.
Inside of Santa's place, they witnessed the Flying Forces landing on the runway. But it's not a smooth landing. Oh God, Santa! He's dead! Well, it was actually just a practice dummy. The Flying Forces team is filled with jerks. They know they can't be fired, that Santa Claus needs their talent, so they're not gonna pay attention to a wolf attack warning.
The wolves! They want to eat you and Santa.
And they're gonna spend their time getting drunk. But unlike that all of the other reindeer special, the reindeer in this bar are actually friendly.
Well, what are you waiting for?
While everybody's getting chummy at the bar, the wolves are making it through Santa's labyrinth. Wilma realizes, I know the flying forces, and then she starts singing.
Listen, fellas, this boy has come a long way today, and one of you share the same DNA. Yeah, one of you is Nico's daddy.
The what? And as much as I hate Santa Baby, a bootleg Santa Baby is 100 times worse.
That's what I'm saying. Is it Dasher so strong and wise, or is it Cutie Cupid with his dreamy eyes?
And I'm gonna guess that anyone who decided to watch this Christmas special didn't go into it thinking they were gonna see a DNA testing episode of Maury Povich.
Is it Vixen or even Blitzen?
We don't know what Santa will say.
You are not.
Come on, Prancer, don't you tell me no lies.
We're gonna play a little game of Who's the Father? Each reindeer just gave a DNA sample, which means that all of the reindeer have been sleeping around. They all have a little bit of a, maybe this is my kid.
Do any of you remember taking a young lady reindeer flying one Christmas?
Yeah, right. Sorry, kid. This is the world-famous flying forces you're dealing with. We're gonna need more detail.
If Nico is able to fly, then somebody on this team is definitely his father. And if Nico isn't able to fly, he's just gonna fall to his death. The test is, you fly, or you die. Wow, shit just got real.
Believe you can, you will fly. Don't believe you can, you will fly.
No!
And would you look at that? None of them are the father. He fell to his death. The end.
Nico! Nico!
Okay, the reindeer aren't that bad. They save him. Okay, they'd be real assholes if they didn't. Julius the squirrel tries to comfort Nico, and Nico's like, That's not my dad! That's not my dad!
You're not my dad! I never want to see you again!
Nico! Wait!
Before we're even able to process what just happened, the wolves arrive, and they're ready to feast on some elite deer. Nico and Julius distract the wolves away from the reindeer, who have now become too afraid to fly.
Why don't they fly away?
They're too scared.
Nico is going to have to be able to protect himself in the pocket. This reindeer crew is showing that they're not going to be much help in keeping Nico upright.
Help! Santa! The wolves are here!
You've reached Santa's hotline.
Finally, after getting stabbed in his butt, Prancer begins flying. After a little motivation from Julius, which sounds very sarcastic because Norm MacDonald is saying it.
Are you the world-famous flying forces who never give up, no matter what? Or just a bunch of frightened horses?
The reindeers nut up.
We're reindeer. We're not horses. We're Santa's flying forces. Ho-ho!
The head wolf has chased Nico to the top of a tree. It's the end. Or is it? Julius is now guiding Santa's sleigh, but the wolf is still on his heels. Can the wolf handle Santa's speed? They've hit warp speed, Mr. Sulu. Whoop! Julius kamikazes himself to take out the wolf, and Nico dives right after him. Our wolf falls to his death, but Nico can fly.
You can fly! You can fly!
So you know what that means? Paternity time. The rest of the wolves scatter, but hey, at least this one wolf got a girl out of the whole thing. Prancer is like, kid, I think I'm your dad.
You can call me Dad.
And he did that without even doing the DNA test, so, what were you hiding there, Prancer?
You're my dad?
Yeah, I guess so.
You coming clean now? What did you know all along?
Wow.
And does that mean that Prancer was willing to let this kid die just so he wouldn't have to pay paternity support? Either way, he's not going to get back together with Nico's mom. Santa's going to let Nico fly with the team, and Julius is kind of bummed that Nico's real dad is back in the picture. Nico realizing that, you know, the Flying Forces is cool, but I'd rather be with my tribe. I know who my real dad is. It's Julius.
But then I realized he was with me all along. I'm staying here.
Not the deadbeat reindeer.
Maybe I could come visit you after Christmas if that's okay.
Yeah. If that's okay with your mom.
And there's a sequel to this movie, so if anything I said there changes, I haven't watched it yet. Our next movie is Donner, the Christmas movie, which is less of an animated special and more a very long PlayStation 1 looking cutscene.
Maybe we could take the day off. Relax, play some video games, eat junk food, and sit in the jacuzzi.
Even the North Pole has morning radio.
We're just one day away from the big night, so let's roll up our sleeves and get to work. Now, here's an old holiday favorite. All I want for Christmas is a stocking full of joy.
Donner the Christmas movie decided to make each one of its reindeer into a sort of stereotype.
Yeah, gotcha.
My material form is blissfully present. Vixen! Here! And almost ready. Comet! Cupid!
Cupid is present and ready to spread the love.
Are you the kind of person who really wants to see Duke Nukem as a reindeer?
Game over.
Donner is your stereotypical slacker. Like Allen Iverson, he doesn't want to practice. Though they do the same thing every year, how much practice do they actually need at this point? But that's not the type of thing that Duke Nukem Deer wants to hear.
Why aren't you like the other reindeer? Just what is your major malfunction?
And Duke's kinda right. Donner forgot how to fly. Honestly, I would just say eat a magic cookie from Mrs. Claus. This is a North Pole that I don't want to visit. Everyone's kind of cruel.
I never met a reindeer that couldn't fly. This'll fetch big money online.
And there's a Jimmy Kimmel presence here.
Oh, hey, Donner. We were just working on the Mr. Dynamite action figure.
You know me?
As he plays an elf named Skeezer. And I don't even want to know how the elf got that name.
Me, I'm Skeezer, and this is my pal Tubby.
He's awfully big for an elf.
The rejected elves and Donner work together to cure his yips. Donner's inability to fly, it's because he doesn't have an identity. Or as I said earlier, a stereotype. So maybe being the Macho Man could help him fly.
Oh, yeah!
Off the top of a rope.
Oh, no!
Ah! Get out of here!
Have a rootin' tootin' Christmas!
How's dressing up like rejected village people gonna help you fly, Donner?
Where was the triple Lutz?
Even in 2001, Matrix jokes were already very tired. So then they asked, what if Donner was like the comic books he reads? Donner's reindeer stock is definitely gonna fall. Coaches are gonna be leery that a reindeer listens to that much Jimmy Kimmel. And of course, being a superhero was just a bad idea. If you really needed to listen to a late night host, David Letterman hangs around the reindeer.
Check it out. Mickey's nose is bright red, just like Ted Kennedy.
Am I supposed to be different just because I'm wearing a dumb cape?
Oh, Donner just had to be himself.
I love being a kid, and I'm not ashamed anymore.
Which is an adult man-child who also knows how to moonwalk? Yeah, that's all it took. Now he's back flying with the team. And this yuppie reindeer who was gonna take his place?
I won't let Santa's sleigh down.
Hit the bricks, pal. Which doesn't make any sense, really. Why not just add another member to the team?
Hey, you can't treat me this this way. Do you know who my daddy is?
Why do we always have to make such extreme roster cuts when almost every single special is based on the idea that they could lose a member? Have a bench, guys. Have a bench. So if we're looking for can't-miss prospects, is Robbie the Reindeer the one that's going to fill the void? They did make 2 specials about him, Hooves of Thunder and Legend of the Lost Tribe, produced by the BBC. Then it was imported over to the United States. So you gotta have some American talent. Ben Stiller is the voice of Robbie the Reindeer.
Hello, call me Robbie, because I am.
And his love interest, Donner, actually Donna, is played by Britney Spears. Donner is treated as a live-in maid.
There's a reindeer to do physicals, a reindeer to cook, a reindeer to wash up, and all of those reindeer are me.
She also has reindeer boobs, and that is very, very weird. Robbie the Reindeer is here for the reindeer games, which are being held in Colchester. Robbie is already a menace as he comes crashing into the lodge.
Cool, let's kill it.
Prancer, no!
Prancer in this special is voiced by Brad Garrett. Robbie is now going to be on the sleigh team. He comes from Bloodline, and this year his dad is no longer going to lead the team.
But Robbie's dad, he's still the famous one. Do children sing a song about me? No. Am I on the magazines? No. Just because he saved the day for the boss one time, and now he sent his son.
Yes, he comes from that guy, but this film cleverly works around the fact that they don't have the license for that.
I will not have that name said in my presence.
Are you talking about
German name, wasn't it? Rudolph.
And why isn't Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer allowed to be discussed? Is it some sort of Paul is dead thing?
I think I killed Rudolph this Christmas.
Was this song right? Is Rudolph dead?
Ice on the road, blood on the snow thing.
Maybe he wasn't run over. Maybe he was shot by Blake Shelton and Larry the Cable Guy.
Get her done. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, shit.
Blake.
Or what if it's the opposite? What if Rudolph killed a guy?
Freaking fire plug.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Or maybe they just don't like talking about him because he got that DUI.
Now, you all know the story of Rudolph, but I bet you didn't know he got himself a DUI.
And I hear your qualifications are just right to guide my sleigh tonight.
Or maybe he was blackballed because he was a Trump supporter.
So, Donald, what do you think?
Rudolph, you're hired. Blitzen, you're fired.
Robbie also has a nose that helps him out. It can't guide the sleigh, but it does have an amazing sense of smell. Robbie, like Donner in the last film, is kind of a slacker and is easily distracted. Rudolph has used his connections to get Robbie the gig, and Blitzen is beyond jealous. He's sick of all the love that Rudolph had, and now is his chance to take it out on Robbie.
I will not sleep until I have destroyed Robbie.
Robbie also seems to have the hots for Vixen.
Oh! She is hot.
Wow. Vixen.
But then I have to ask this. Robbie must be into older reindeer, because Vixen was older than his father when his father first joined the team. Poor Britney Spears, dear. She's so jealous that Robbie's attracted to Vixen. And this reindeer crew is also pretty jaded. They don't even care about Santa at this point, probably because Santa goes around dressing like a no-limit soldier. And what a huge phony. You always liked Rudolph. Yeah, sure.
I wouldn't keep blabbing on about your dad, you know. He's terrific, your dad.
Way to whitewash history.
Great bouncing iceberg.
They're gonna have themselves a little party at the North Pole, and a seal even performs for the crowd. The seal is voiced by Seal.
Thank you, Seal.
There seems to be some feud between Santa, the elves, and reindeer. This Santa also can't help but make a modification so that he doesn't have to use reindeer in the future. Blitzen guilt trips Robbie that he's going to get another reindeer kicked off the team because of nepotism.
I think the boss is going to take you on the sleigh anyway, because he liked your dad. Oh. He'll kick off some other reindeer who's trained for it all year.
Oh, dear.
But that doesn't matter.
Robbie accidentally freezes himself and is about to be eaten by elves. Can you really argue against Blitzen's point when Robbie goes and gets himself accidentally frozen and is almost eaten by elves? Which is a little weird. Do elves normally eat reindeer? You'd think that would be something that they'd shun at the North Pole. Even after Robbie fails out of assembling with the elves, Robbie's such a screw-up that he's never going to be able to cut it as an elf. Britney Spears' deer shows up and is like, hey, Robbie, get back in the reindeer games. You do realize that Blitzen was playing you. He hates you.
Oh. Take that. Twit.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Robbie's gonna need himself a wise, Miyagi-like reindeer to train him. And old Jingles is our man. And it's a family affair, as Jerry Stiller is the one to voice the crazy deer.
I don't train anyone. Old Jingle is retired, so...
But you've got to take him on. Without your help, he'll never beat Blitzen.
That's what I'm talking about!
Then I get Rocky IV vibes as they go off to train in the snowy mountains. Robbie puts in the work during the off-season. He gets bigger, harder, faster, and stronger. And learns a new skill, like the nose bounce. What a creepy whale. Everything works out for Robbie. He saves old Jingles, falls in love with Britney Spears' reindeer. And let me guess, the winner of the reindeer games will be...
And the winner, by a nose, is... Blitzen.
Yes!
Oh! Blitzen still won. I wouldn't feel too bad for that Nepo baby, Robbie the Reindeer. He still got the girl.
Can you not talk to me because you love me? Or because you've been trampled by a herd of reindeer? Oh, shut up and come here.
And because Blitzen pissed hot, well, Blitzen's disqualified from leading the reindeer team.
You are a cheat!
Time to give your sample, Mr. Blitzen.
And surprisingly, this isn't the first reindeer special where somebody's pissed hot.
It's all big misunderstanding.
We warned you about the extra magic cookies, Moshinika.
And in all that excitement, old Jingles and the head elf, they get engaged.
Yeah! Will you marry me?
Oh, of course I will, you crazy fool!
So, representation for somebody. And Santa's like, hey, you and Britney Spears' deer, I'm gonna be your wingman. And Santa must love young love. In our second story, we come back to the North Pole, which really has to be the worst place on Earth to live. The reindeer even have to work in the off-season. They don't even get paid by Santa, so they have to run a bed and breakfast. Santa's generosity has made everybody broke. Since the events of the last film, Blitzen has been let out on good behavior, because he's so sorry.
They let me out of jail. Why? Because I'm so sorry for what I did.
He just wants to help. Well, reindeers don't hold grudges. Besides, they have history with Blitzen. And truthfully, I'm not really sure why Blitzen even went to prison. He pissed hot in the reindeer games. They didn't throw Lance Armstrong in prison. So what did Blitzen do that deserved that kind of punishment? Blitzen says, hey, let's make the North Pole a real travel destination. Get an internet billionaire or two to show up. That's not going to be easy because Robbie works at this B&B and he just causes accident after accident. And after one such accident, spots himself a Viking. Needing answers, he heads off to go see old Jingles. And old Jingles is like, you want to know about Vikings?
Wibble wobble, wibble wobble, wibble wobble.
Well, let me tell you about the legend of Kirk Cousins. A man that you just gotta see in action. Well, before prime time.
They were warriors. They were unstoppable. Then one day, there were no lands left for them to conquer.
Vikings used to be all around. And then when there was nothing left to conquer, they just fought with each other. Blitzen was right. He did attract a rabbit internet billionaire. But he's not a billionaire. He's actually one of Blitzen's criminal friends. And Blitzen turns on his fellow reindeer again.
do it.
Blitzen, old pal, get us out.
Did you come and get me out when I was on the inside? Oh, I remember. No.
Even after he became a part of Santa's team, Robbie's still kind of a mess-up. But this time, it works in the group's favor.
Fair.
Yes!
If the reindeer are gonna stop these rabbits, they're gonna need help from the Vikings. Not every member of the team is able to make it without being caught.
Freaking Jimmy's job!
Robbie is able to find the mythical Vikings, all named Magnus.
Magnus, that's Magnus. Magnus, she's Magnus. He's Magnus, that's Magnus, and there's little Magnus.
But these aren't the Vikings that are gonna be able to help you. These are the cowardly Vikings, and by being cowardly, they were able to survive all the fighting. One of the rabbit thugs finds Robbie. Blitzen's plan is working to perfection, and now he's got his own amusement park. It's looking like the end of the road for old Robbie till the Vikings show up, and they will fight their known enemy, the bunny. Robbie and Blitzen go full action movie and have a final brawl on top of a sleigh. Blitzen must have learned Kung Fu while he was in prison. During the final battle, Blitzen must play relationship expert to Robbie and Donner.
You should stop worrying so much. It's obvious Robbie loves you more than anything. He just forgets himself sometimes, because he's an idiot.
See?
And you should make more of an effort. Listen to Donna. Let her know you need her.
Robbie and Donner are now engaged, and moments later, she tiger uppercuts Blitzen.
Tiger uppercut!
Sending him spinning right round, like a record, baby. Which is easier than paying your couple's counseling therapy bill, I guess. All the bad guys are now locked up.
Oh, Blitzen, this is such a bit of disappointment. It's terrible.
And the rest of the town decides, hey, let's just watch these two reindeer make out. And I know what you're thinking. What happened to the financial crisis that all the reindeers were in? Viking disco! That's how we're gonna make our money. The next tale of the tape is Nine Dogs Christmas, which again asks the question, can a dog be part of Santa's reindeer team? I think Olive has already proved no. But we have another two dogs willing to try.
Snowplow. That's Tank.
And if you wanted to put them on your team, you'd have serious concerns. People mock these dogs. Even our narrator doesn't believe that these two can pull it off.
The all-time unluckiest, most misfortunate street mutts ever.
This town is nuts. People go flying down unplowed streets, almost running over this poor chef. Nobody seems to have any sympathy for these mutts. They have to scrounge for their food. People aren't dying to help them out, and all they want is a home. But not with this creeper. This man just goes around taking random dogs and forcing them to be part of his traveling dog circus. Tank and Snowplow get to meet some of the other captured pups, like this Chihuahua, who speaks Mexican. Because, of course he does. Haven't you ever seen Beverly Hills Chihuahua 2?
Hold your tacos.
Amigos! Welcome to Pierre Leron's traveling circus!
It's not so bad when you're used to it. We get 2 square meals a day, least once a week.
Yeah, fellas, this is living!
Snowplow and Tank just want a place to call their own. All these dogs do. There's a place out there. This little girl is just dying for a dog who looks exactly like Tank.
I sure hope Santa brings me that.
We're back to the North Pole, which is still terrible. Elves are forced to work around the clock, and they're all high-strung and very bossy.
The man in red has a perfect departure record, and as long as I'm in charge, it's gonna stay that way. Understand?
Yes, sir, Mr. Buzzer!
Then let's move it, move it, move it!
I like to move it, move it!
Has anyone ever looked up the Glassdoor rating for the North Pole? And why is this train CGI when the rest of the special is in 2D? To this film's credit, the Up at the North Pole song is pretty catchy.
Up at the North Pole, even when you're tired and work, that's where cry goes on.
What kid asked for the Trumpy Bear?
God bless America, and God bless Trumpy Bear.
We meet an elf who just goes around screwing up all the time, doing things like making toys that require batteries.
What in the name of Kris Kringle are you doing?
Trying to put batteries in, sir. Mr. Buzz, sir.
Elf policy number 1.
Batteries not included, sir.
Out at the bar.
No!
Ugh, God, what the?
Yeah, Dasher?
This is another animated special where we're losing some of our main reindeer. Dasher is sick and is not going to be able to fly.
Smells like a barn in here.
It is a barn.
In this film, Cupid is a female reindeer.
No! Oh, you too, Cupid?
Oh, and this film does acknowledge the existence of...
That red nose looks like it's gonna burn out any second.
Oh, no!
But he can't make it. He's also really, really sick. And I think he just died. Agnes the elf can't stop messing up. Maybe she'd be better at locating some new reindeer. So Agnes has to leave the North Pole to find herself a reindeer.
Can't you see I'm on the... Huh? Who's that? Who's there?
Charles Bronson Cop is going to be no help whatsoever.
What do you kids want?
What the hell was his issue?
You mean Santa's got no reindeer this year?
Precisely.
You're kidding me, Junior.
Isn't he supposed to serve and protect?
Now he's taking the law into his own hands.
The head elf, Buzz, comes down to help out, proving that he's not just some over-the-hill elf. He can still do the job. Annabelle? What are you doing in this film? Oh God, there's gonna be rapping.
There's no telling what is possible when you put your mind to it. You just gotta be stick-to-itive.
Stick-to-itive?
Stick-to-itive. Say it with me.
My glasses. I can't see.
I'll get them. Oh.
What was that? Tell me that wasn't my glasses.
Oh, dear.
Buzz really should have gotten his North Pole insurance to cover that laser eye. It would have avoided the situation that he's in now. And I just realized the reason Agnes sounds so familiar is because that's the same woman who did Minnie Mouse. It is absolutely no fun to be part of a traveling dog show.
Tonight, he shows off the new act.
The Flamin' Leap of Death.
Now that sounds cool.
This man forces dogs to jump through fire in front of an audience of, like, nobody. He's not the best businessman. He then leaves the dogs and heads off to, I don't know, get drunk? That didn't work out for him. And while the car is in park, Agnes and Buzz find this car and mistake the dogs for reindeer.
That says Reindeer.
Reindeer?
How? I don't know. The film needed some reason that these dogs went off to the North Pole.
How many are in there?
I don't know. 8 or...
Perfect.
Buzz isn't wearing his glasses, but he doesn't want to admit that he's too old. So he's just gonna say, dogs, reindeer, were you prepared to have your elves become carjackers? The stealing of the van is what's gonna lead our bad guys to the North Pole.
The owner's gonna understand.
Now we got work to do. What is? That's my truck!
And the North Pole needs better security, because I've already seen people sneak past a toll booth and a lot of incompetent workers. We got ourselves a little doggy love story. Kind of reminded me of Homeward Bound 2, Chance and Delilah. Then also they kind of rip off Riley's story from Homeward Bound 2.
I had a home once. A great house, fireplace, big dog bed with deep red cushions.
You see, all it takes for a dog to fly is being in love. I love that their fictional home has a massive dog bone on it. They'll even have one of those precocious kids that you see in a sitcom. Why does he look so pissed off at his kid? That's just not reality. A reality where they're all just trapped dogs who can't escape this evil Frenchman and his watchdog. And if all these dogs balk at the idea of doing this trick after their first time, why does he keep them? Wouldn't it just make sense to find new street dogs every time he pulled into a new city? The street dogs arrive at the North Pole, and they almost take out some elves. Guys, you brought us 2 dogs. We wanted reindeer.
These look like dogs.
You big dummy.
Of course they look like dogs, cause they are. Dogs don't get reindeer flu. If I brought reindeer, they'd just get sick.
Dogs can't fly.
You think I'm gonna get dogs that can't fly? I gotta teach these dogs to fly.
Or maybe they can. I guess it depends on how good this montage is. What exactly is catapulting them into freezing water supposed to do? I guess if you want them to be dead dogs, go for it. Do it! Blast them in the face with snow.
I was frozen today!
If I just changed the music in the background, it would look more like a torture scene than a training scene. Reports out of camp are that the practices have been going extremely well. These dogs are now starting to act like reindeer. It's time for our new starters to get a little R&R. Well, the elves put the final touches on the game plan for Christmas Eve. Pierre and Frenchie make it to the North Pole, and like the wolves in The Flight Before Christmas, they're there to make trouble. I'm sorry, how is this guy able to sneak into the house and steal back every single dog? I know from experience, and back me up in the comments, if you get up in front of your dog, even if you tiptoe, go slowly, and don't try to make any noise, they know. They always know. This man is determined to get those captured dogs back, which is a lot of work for a guy who snagged all these dogs off the streets in the first place. Agnes notices that the dogs have gone missing, so she heads off to find them.
They've been dog-napped!
And after all the hard work Pierre just did of getting those dogs back, somebody makes an offer to buy them and make them work in the mines.
I need it for working mines, hauling out ore. You got any?
Matter of fact, I got 8.
Pierre and this sketchy guy make a bet. Pierre will make double his money if he wins this dart throwing contest. But if he loses, Frenchie will also be tossed in with the other dogs. Honestly, that's better than constantly being whipped.
Lousy lame mutt, what do you think I'm paying you for?
You're not paying me, you lousy lame, you're good for nothing.
Frenchie realizes that the career path he's on now is a bust. So what would happen if he was a good dog? If he helped out Agnes?
Please, boy, I really need to find them. Me and Santa need their help bad. If I don't get them back, there's not gonna be much of a Christmas this year.
Against his better judgment, he helps out Agnes. Can't be any worse than what he's dealing with right now.
I'm going to hate myself in the morning for this.
Are you gonna show me?
Buzz the elf is finally going to admit to Santa, I brought back dogs. I'm sorry. Sorry.
The reindeer got sick and we trained some dogs to take their place, but now they're all gone and Christmas is doomed.
Santa in this film is voiced by Pat Fraley. That's right, we have a Krang Claus.
Oh, where's my reindeer? These are... Buzz.
Sir?
Why are these dogs here?
Frenchie is now a good dog. He helps other dogs escape. And his old owner, he can go pound sand. Look at this man run. I bet he wishes he packed some snowshoes. Because one of these strays just got a mouthful of him. And he's only able to escape on a floating block of ice.
Aloha, boss.
In a reveal that kind of undercuts the entire point of the film, we learn that magic dust can make anything fly. So, why go recruiting? You're telling me there isn't any other reindeer up in the North Pole that could have taken this dust? So we're just gonna leave it up to these dogs? This is not smooth sailing. Santa is gonna die on this flight. The amount of stop-starts. Oh God, I hope the Santa Claus is in effect.
We did it! We're flying! I can hardly believe my own eyes!
The 9 dogs get to see the world. But if they were like an offensive line, well, they almost got their quarterback killed. Santa, honestly, wear your seatbelt. Who do you think you are? The Ninja Turtles in their turtle blimp? Santa's about to fall off a building, and then he's sending dogs to new owners, which is going to make it so that he has absolutely nobody on his team to bring him home. Is Santa going to have to call AAA? Tank and QT get placed in a home where they're able to live out their fantasy. And Snowplow is given to the little girl that we saw in the beginning of the movie. Our final tale of the tape is from a little film called Reindeer in Here. The guy who wrote it also did Princess and the Frog, the voice actors you've actually heard of. And our special is taking us back to the basics. Not the PS3 looking graphics. I'm talking the story. A story about a young reindeer who wants to be part of the reindeer team. Not a dog, not a horse, not a cow, just a reindeer who wants to be part of the reindeer team.
Good luck with the big presentation, Blizz! Make us reindeers proud!
Thanks, guys!
That reindeer's name is Blizzard. We're not going to meet Blizzard just yet. First, we have to meet the kid who Blizzard is going to befriend. His name is Theo, and he's a bit of a loner.
Hey, y'all!
Theo has had to move from town to town. Theo is an expert puppeteer, and even tells jokes. Is Theo just Joe Hodgson?
Oh, look, haven't you done enough damage already? Unfortunately, we'll be right back.
His life gets way more exciting when he moves to this town, when one night a reindeer comes crashing into his bedroom.
My name's Blizzard, but my friends call me Blizz.
That's Blizzard, voiced by Workaholic's Adam Devine. Blizzard is what you would call a misfit. He's got mismatched antlers, and he's got some eccentric friends.
His mismatched antlers, you see him? They cause him to crash.
I kind of believe that this film takes place in the same universe as Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It's tonally pretty much the same, and in this universe, Donner is still the head trainer of reindeer. There's always a turncoat elf in one of these movies. Smiley Gumdrops.
You're Santa's head of holiday operations.
The big ho-ho himself!
And he works at the Hoe Clinic.
Voiced by Henry Winkler.
And he also is a hoe.
Well, you know, it's the invention that landed me the job as Santa's ho-ho.
What the heck is that supposed to imply? Santa's not feeling the need to change how things are done up at the North Pole. That's not something a reindeer like Blizzard wants to hear. Blizzard fancies himself as a sort of inventor. But as of right now, Blizzard's job is to pick up the trash at the North Pole. Blizzard believes that if he made a wish into Santa's magical snow globe, Blizzard would get to be part of the reindeer team.
I wish that Santa would.
Give it to me.
Geez, Candy, wait your turn.
The North Pole has an orb. Yes, what this film is saying is that Santa has his own orb that he can ponder over. Right up until they steal it from him. Blizzard and the Snow Girl are going to try to catch that thief, and that's why you saw Blizzard crashing through this kid's window. Look at this cloaked man! He's trying to get away with the orb, but Blizzard takes off on pure instinct. If you saw this tape, you'd think that this guy had amazing flight skills and didn't have any issues. But well, your hopes, like Blizzard himself, are gonna come crashing back down to Earth. Theo panics.
You hit your head. Brain's hemorrhaging.
Brain hemorrhaging for this kid is a good thing? Whew. That's pretty dark, film. Blizzard needs help. And Theo has the ability to actually understand reindeer.
Only kids can hear me. Come on, that's North Pole Magic 101.
Can he also understand what the Snow Girl is saying? The elves go into panic mode when Santa lets them know that, the globe's missing. Blizzard is accused of stealing the globe, since the North Pole doesn't really have themselves a good Detective Columbo type on their squad. Why don't we just blame Blitzen from that Robbie the Reindeer cartoon? Theo's parents think that Blizzard is just some stray dog that he picked up, which makes them way more chill than Mariah Carey's parents in her cartoon special. Blizzard digs Theo's weirdness, Blizzard and Theo go downtown to look for the globe, but they have no luck.
Don't even think about it.
Damn! I thought we'd go at least one of these films where there wasn't a poop joke or a pee joke. Theo goes crashing into a girl that he has a crush on. And then, like the littlest deer before him, Blizzard just takes this kid to go flying out of nowhere. I hope that kid has a tight grip, because this reindeer is always crashing.
I thought you were a terrible flyer.
Compared to Comet and Cupid, yes. Compared to you, I'm amazing.
Blizzard's mental lapses could cost you, and cost you big. If you gotta make all these deliveries, you can't risk Blizzard just crashing the sleigh. What happens when they cross a tundra? A desert. But what will improve Blizzard's draft stock is his ability to throw a snowball.
There's a reason I'm named Blizzard!
The stealth evil guy finds the orb. Blizzard and Theo give chase on an inflatable Santa. And the man that has stolen the orb has gotten away. We even have a reindeer that says, "Hey, Blizzard's innocent. I saw him."
I was filming a baking tutorial for my YouTube channel when I caught this.
Oh, we need to show this to Smiley. It could save Blizz.
Theo realizes he can't do this alone, so he's gonna get his crush to help him out. You gotta give this girl some credit. I'm surprised her brain didn't just break the minute this snow girl and reindeer started talking. Oh, never mind, her brain did break. So this little girl is supposedly an expert scientist and seems to have the ability to break into a secured building.
Good news is, I may know another way past a cloaking device.
When you're talking drafting a reindeer, Blizzard's ability to fly puts him way above some of the others we've seen, but he cannot take off or land smoothly. The team makes it to the abandoned toy factory. That toy factory, not so abandoned. What are all these elves doing here? Smiley has backstabbed Santa, and has all of Blizzard's friends tied up. Smiley believes in automation. Robots should make toys.
What if the elves couldn't make enough toys? What if Santa gets too fat and he couldn't fit down every chimney?
So instead of taking reindeer jobs, this film is about taking elf jobs. Blizzard tries to appeal to Smiley's good side.
Come on, you're an inventor, Blizz. You'll get it. There's always a better way.
But you should have run it by Santa first.
Oh no, actually both jobs, because drones are gonna do what reindeers used to do. You gotta use the power of the orb. The orb is a machine, and it can do so much more. Gumdrop does have a point. He's just kind of an ass, so let's not listen to him.
What if the snow globe runs out of space for wishes? I just couldn't take that chance.
The team feels awful. Christmas as they know it, it's over. Theo breaks the team out, and then he tries to speak reason to old Smiley Gumdrop.
You have a good heart. I know you want to make Christmas better, but this isn't the way to do it.
Smiley wasn't a bad elf. His intention was to leave Christmas taken care of. That Santa isn't a bad guy. He'll forgive. Just please hand over the orb.
Oh, I'm a fool. Santa will never forgive me.
Yes, he will. He's Santa.
Before Smiley can hand over that orb, the robots take it. Like Saliva once sang, "Boom! Here comes the boom!"
It's electrifying!
Isla and Candy haven't shut the force field down yet.
It's never too late for a Christmas miracle.
Modern day cinema, like the Christmas Chronicles or the Santa Claus reboot, they're big on portal travel. They make it just in time. Santa was about to give up. Why was Santa about to give up? You'd think after years of delivering presents, he could just be like, "Hey, guys, here's a gift card this year. I'm sorry. Had some complications." I think 75% of his clientele would be like, "Dude, it's cool, Santa. It's cool. We don't need anything this year. Just get better. Come back next year. We get it. Things happen."
Smiley's the one that took the globe.
That can't be true.
It is.
Thinking that Blizzard is still the orb thief, Santa confronts him.
But he only took it to make Christmas easier for you.
But he realized what he was doing was wrong.
Christmas is back on, and Theo has made some new friends. Theo and Blizzard say their goodbyes, but first, they get to ride with Santa. Blizzard can't lead the team, but he can sit in the sleigh. Smiley Gumdrops is forgiven, and even moved to a new department. Blizzard was even able to get his friends new gigs, and every kid is able to get their own reindeer on Christmas, and that sounds awesome. Right up until you have to think about the feeding costs, the housing costs, and all the poop you have to shovel.
He can give each of them the best Christmas ever!
And Blizzard, still not that great at flying. So now you know their stories. Who is the most equipped to join Santa's team? At the top of the board, we're gonna put Christy, the first female reindeer. Christy was raised from birth by Santa Claus to be a member of this team. Christy has all the poise in the world to fly without any issue. She can even tolerate bad Christmas music. My only concern is that in her own special, a character named Tanglefoot took over. Christy is first-round talent, but if people are concerned about the whole Tanglefoot thing, I could see her falling to the second round. Now, number 2 and 3 on the board, I would say are a 2A and a 2B. They're from the same movie. It's Sasha and DJ. With Sasha, we don't know a ton, other than the fact that she's a fierce competitor who did win the Reindeer Games competition. But you have to ask yourself, while she won the entire event, DJ did dominate in individual games. Is DJ more naturally talented? He was groomed from a young age to be part of Santa's team, since his dad is one of the famous reindeer. DJ admitted to cheating, but he did show major growth at the end of that film. I would put their value at first round all the way down to maybe third round. Fourth on the board, I would put Nico from The Flight Before Christmas. Nico has raw potential. He makes bad decisions, but he's young. He's got character concerns, but can you blame the kid? He didn't even know his father, and his father is part of the reindeer team, making him, like DJ, bloodline. But he's brave, determined, and an actual flying reindeer. All of them have more potential than the next 2 on the board, which I'm using as a comparison, since they are actual reindeer on the team. We have Blitzen from Rockin' Reindeer Christmas, and Donner from Donner. Blitzen is just Zack Morris, the reindeer. He wants to lead the team, but Santa politely changes the subject anytime it's brought up. He'd rather make everybody the starter than just give Blitzen a chance. Makes you wonder. I'm actually surprised Donner is even still on the team, since he forgot how to fly. How? How did he do that? That is why you practice, 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 even when you don't want to. Below him is the Littlest Deer. Very trustworthy, great team player, can fly, but does not listen, and is not discreet about their ability to fly. Next on the board is Moose from Glow Friends Save Christmas. Say what you will about Moose, but he did lead Santa's sleigh. He's got himself some major character issues, considering he did work with the evil witch. He's also just not very bright. His Wonderlic score has to be really low. Also, he has some really bad situational awareness, getting himself caught multiple times. At best, Moose is a mid-round starter. You're only picking him up to get a little roster depth. Next on the board is all the reindeer in Christmas Reindeer Tales. At best, a mid-round talent. At worst, they're not even talented enough to be drafted. Are they on the level of, scabs or replacement players? Absolutely. You could field a team with these guys right up until your starters are able to come back. But nothing more. The next level on the board are what I call project picks. 7th round, maybe undrafted, but you give them a shot. We have the reindeer in Elf's Pet Secret Reindeer Rescue. You ever watch the USFL? The XFL? Arena football? They can do the job. You just wouldn't want to pay money for it. Or put him on your team if you didn't have to. Our next competitor is Elliot. Elliot is the first non-reindeer to make this list. And you know what? It's because he's got heart. He did okay competing in the games, even if he is kind of a klutz. But I fear if he doesn't eat a magic cookie, he's going to be exposed. He can't fly. And finally, the last one on the board you'd at least kick the tires on is Blizzard from Reindeer in Here.
Reindeer in Here will continue. This is CBS.
Now, why is he lower than the miniature horse? It's that you gotta be concerned that after everything he did, Santa was still like, sit in the sleigh with me. His flying needed work. His takeoffs, terrible. His landings, terrible. I don't really know what the skill of snowball throwing will add, but I don't know. Is he like the penguins in the Mario movie? And finally, the draft bus. Do not even kick the tires on these reindeer. The highest of the failures, Robbie from Robbie the Reindeer. You are in for a world of hurt if you get him. I know he's from the bloodline, that he trained with the actual team, but he's still bad at being a reindeer. And even though Blitzen turned out to be evil, he wasn't wrong with his assessment on Robbie. And I don't really see where having a great sense of smell is going to help out that much. Next, we have Olive from all of the other reindeer. She's a dog, she can't fly, and was winded by the first house. Next on the list is Snowplow and Tank from 9 Dogs. Both of these dogs failed their training, but unlike Olive, when they were sprinkled with magic dust, were at least able to finish out the night with Santa. The reason they're lower is because Santa almost died multiple times. And ranking dead last on the list is Annabelle the cow, because she's a cow who can't fly. As much as she wants to be part of that team, she can't fly. There you have it. If you've seen any of these reindeer films, or just want to make a Reindeer Games Ben Affleck joke, do it in the comments. And next year's reindeer class is going to be even bigger. We got reindeers that shoot rockets. AJ Styles.
Now Christmas, you're a freaking reindeer. Not only are you a reindeer, you're an angry reindeer, which makes it even worse.
Dolly Parton. Mice pretending to be reindeer. And the Southern legend in the making himself, Leroy the Redneck Reindeer.
He makes jingle bells with a rebel yell.
If you like this video, there's plenty of other Christmas stuff on the Christmas playlist. And if you don't care about Christmas, even though you're seeing this video during Christmas time, click the other stuff. Or all these suggested videos over here that probably aren't even me. Don't you think I need ad revenue?